Welcome to Franksport Tutoring Service. Today we are going to present the Mkongolov District Mathematics Professional Learning Community Control Test Term 2, June 2026 for grade 9. Total marks, there were 75. Question 1 on integers with 4 marks. Various options are provided as possible answers to the following questions. 1.1. Choose the correct answer by circling the letter of the correct answer. Calculate the value of 5 times 2 plus 15 divided by 3. So we're using BODMAS. So if we look at BODMAS, first divide, which is our D. So we're going to look at 15 divided by 3, and that will give us 5. So it means we have 5 times 2 plus 5. Then the next one is multiplication. So it's 5 times 2. 5 times 2 gives us 10, which means we're going to have 10 plus 5. Our answer is 15, which is B. The correct option is B. We move on to choose the correct expression for 11 times 5 brackets 6 squared plus the cube root of 64. Still using BODMAS. If you are using BODMAS, then you've got brackets here, so you have to solve what is in brackets. So that's 6 squared plus the cube root of 6 squared, that gives us 36, plus the cube root of 64, that's 4. So it means we're going to have 11 times 5 brackets, in brackets 36 plus 4, and we are going to add 36 plus 4, 36 plus 4, that's 40. Which means it's 11 times 5 times 40. Then still now solving what is in brackets, that's 11 times 200. Then 11 times 200 is 2,200. The correct option is B. Then move on. Lulu wanted to bake cupcakes for 17 classmates plus herself, which means there are 18 people. She found a recipe for 6 cups, which contains 100 grams sugar, 500 grams butter, 1 egg, 100 grams flour, 4 grams baking powder, and 60 milliliters milk. How much of each ingredient must she use to make 18 cupcakes? Let's find the cupcake. It's going to be 18 divided by 6, which is 3. So let's look at the ingredients now, which means it's for sugar, it's going to be 100 grams times 3, which is 300. 600 times 50 grams times 3, which is 150. 1 egg times 3, 3 eggs. 100 grams of flour times 3, 300 grams. Baking powder, 4 grams times 3, 12 grams. Then milk, 600 ml times 3, which is 180 milliliters. Move on to question 2, integers again. When Mandla visited the United States, he bought a laptop computer advertised at $400. He knew the exchange rate was 7 Rand 50 per dollar. How much did he pay in rands? Then of course those options. So which means $1 is equal to 7 Rand 50. So $400 is equal to more. So that means 400 over 1 multiplied by 7 Rand 50, which gives us 3,000 rands. So the correct option is C. We move on to identify which of the following numbers do not satisfy the properties of a rational number? A, that's a rational number, recurring decimal. B, also a recurring decimal. Then C, a terminating decimal. Then D, a non-terminating decimal. So therefore, the correct answer is D. Move on to 2.3. Jane invests 18,000 rands for 6 years at a rate of 15% per annum, compounded annually. What will be the total value of Jane's investment after 6 years? She uses the following formula to calculate the value. A is equal to P brackets 1 plus I to the power N. So let's substitute now. A is equal to 18,000 brackets 1 plus I. You need to convert 15% to decimal, will give us 0.15. So plus 0.15 to the power of 6. So if you calculate, you get your 41,635.09. So the correct option is A. Move on to 2.4. A team of workers can paint a wall in 18 hours. How many hours will 9 workers take to paint the same wall at the same rate? So if you look at that one, 5 workers can paint 18 hours. So 9, it means when the workers increase, the hours must be reduced. So when one quantity increases and the other one decreases, that becomes indirect proportion. So we multiply the two quantities. So then it's going to be 5 times 18 is equal to 9 times the time. 90 is equal to 90. Then divide both sides by 9. Divide this side by 9. Divide this side by 9. So we get our T equals to 10 hours. Question 3, exponents, simplify. We've got x to the power 5 divided by x to the power 2. And our answers are as follows. Then let's calculate now. So we are dividing, subtract the exponents. So it's x to the power 5 minus 2, which gives us x to the power 3. The correct option is A. Move onward. What is the value of x squared multiplied by x cubed multiplied by x to the power 0? So we are multiplying, you add the exponent, and we know that x to the power 0 is 1. So that means the options are there. Then we have got now x to the power 2 plus 3, then multiplied by 1. Then which is equal to x to the power 5 multiplied by 1. Then we've got x to the power 5, which is our correct option is 1. I'm also looking at it and saying, since we've got the same basis, these are the same basis. You can also use that x to the power 2 plus 3 plus 0, because all of them are exponents. That means it gives us x to the power 5. Alright, simplify. 5 to the power negative 2. Then we have those answers. Let's solve it, which gives us make the negative power positive. It's going to be 1 over 5 to the power 3. Then raise that, simplify, 1 over 125. So the correct option is D. Then simplify the following. Leave answer in exponential form. So it's 5,8 times 10 to the power 3 multiplied by 2, 3 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 2. So from the options now, let's simplify that. So we multiply numbers on these numbers on their own. Then this one, they've got the same base, you add the exponents. So let's look at that now. So that means 5 times 8, 5,8 times 2,3 times 10 to the power 3 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 7. So when you multiply there, you get 13,34. Then here you add the exponent. The exponents here, 3 plus minus 7. And when you add, you get 13,34 times 10 to the power negative 4, which the correct option is A. And then we'll move on to 3.5. Simplify the following expression completely. You can see that on the numerator we are multiplying. So it means 3 times 2, that's 6. Then with this one I've got the same basis, add the exponent, 2 plus 3. So we end up getting now 6 multiplied by x to the power 5 divided by 6x to the power 2 plus x to the power 3. So we are dividing, so you divide 6 and 6, that gives us 1. Then here dividing, you subtract the exponent. 5 minus 3, that's 2. So that will be x to the power 3 plus x to the power 3. And x to the power 3 plus x to the power 3 is 2x to the power 3. Question 4, numeric and geometric patterns, 6 marks. We have got write down the next term in the following pattern, 2, 5, 10, 17. Let's look at the pattern 2, 5, 10, 17. So if you look at that, that's 3, there's a different 3, 5, 7, 9. Then I can see, let me check the next difference and see. I've got a difference of 2, 2, 2. So it means I need to add another 2 there. Then if I add a 2 there, that gives me 9. Then 9 there, that gives me 26. So that means the next term is 26. So the correct option is 26. Move on to the next one now. We've got pictures. And this refers to the pattern draw. If the pattern is continued, how many circles must picture 5 have? Picture 1, there's 1. Picture 2, there's 3. Picture 3, there's 2, 4, 6. Picture 4, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So let's put it down. 1, 3, 6, 10. Let's see what is happening now. The difference of 2, 3, 4. Which means the next one should give us a difference of 5. So if you want, the next one is going to be 10 plus 5, which gives us 15. So the correct option is A. Move on to the next one, 4.3. Which statement best describe the rule Tn is equal to 2n? Let's look at those 4. Add 2. In fact, let's look at this one. 2n means 2 times n. So, or 2 multiplied by n. So let's add 2 each time. No. Multiply by 2 each time. That's correct. Multiply by 4 each time. Wrong. Subtract 2 each time. So the correct option is B. Let's move on to the table below. So there's a table there. Shows the number of apples in each basket. Refer to the table below and answer the questions that follow. So basket 1, 5 apples. Basket 2, 9. Basket 3, 13. Basket 4, 17. Basket 10, we don't know. That's what we want to calculate now. So it's 5, 9, 3, 13, 17, and then 10. Let's see what is happening there. 4, 4, 4, 4. So that's a linear pattern, because we've got a constant difference. So we've got, now write down the rule for the sequence. So it's a linear pattern. So in the form, Tn is equal to, so Tn is equal to Dn plus C. So our D is 4. So Tn is equal to 4n plus c. So we take the first number, first basket in 5. So Tn will be 5 and n will be 1. So we'll put our 5 is equal to 4 times 1 plus c. That will give us 5 minus 5 is equal to 4 plus c. Then subtract. C is equal to 5 minus 4. Then c is equal to 1. So Tn is equal to 4n plus 4. The next one, we use this formula now. We take the formula to determine the number of apples in the 10th basket. So that's T10. Then T10, so where there's n, you put 10. 4 times 10 plus 1, which is got 41. Let's move on to question 5, functions and relations. Determine the rule in the following diagram. So that's the diagram. The input is 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it's in order. Then the output is 6, 9, 12, 15. Let's see what is happening there. So it's 3, 3, 3. So it means it's a numeric pattern. So with the numeric pattern, let's look at the answers, and then we have our numeric pattern. That's Tn is equal to Dn plus C. So that means Dn is equal to 3n plus C. We take the first one, 6 and 1. You can take n, it's not always the first one. You can take 4 and 15, you still get the same answer. So that means 6 minus 3 is equal to C. So C is equal to 3. So therefore Tn is equal to 3n plus 3. So the correct option is C. Refer to the rule y. Given the rule y is equal to 7x minus 8, determine the input value of x. Let's see the input value of x. So output is 6 when the input is x. So we take now that rule. So it means 6 for our y, which is the output, is equal to 7x minus 8, like terms together. 6 plus 8 is equal to 7x. 14 is equal to 7x divided by 7 both sides. So x is equal to 2. The correct option is C. Substitute x in the formula. Y is equal to 5x plus 2 and solve it. So we substitute. Y is equal to 25 brackets 20 plus 2. So that means y is equal to 100 plus 2. So y is equal to 102. Question 6, algebraic expressions. Examine the binomial. For x to the power 5 minus 6x, what is the coefficient of x? So the coefficient of x is negative 6. Then move on to 6.2. Which of the following is correctly meshed? Let's look at those ones. Right, x squared plus 3x is binomial, correct. A plus b plus c is binomial, wrong. That's trinomial. 4m minus 7n, trinomial, wrong. That's binomial. P squared minus 9, trinomial, wrong. It's binomial. So the correct answer is A. Move on to that one. What is the value of 6a plus 4a minus 3a? 6a plus 4a, that's 10a, minus 3a, that's 7a. The correct option is A. Simplify the following. 12x cubed plus 6x squared minus 18x divided by 6x. So those are the answers. Let's show now. So it means it's going to be 12x cubed divided by 6x plus 6x squared divided by 6x minus 18x divided by 6x, which means Each and every term is going to be divided by the denominator. 6 there 1, 6 there 2, x, that's 2x. 2x squared, 6 there 1, 6 there 1, x there, that's x. X, then 6 there, that's 3. So we end up having 2x squared plus x minus 3. The correct option is A. We move on. Which expression is simplified correctly? Let's look at those expressions, 4 of them. A, 4y squared is equal to 8y squared. That's wrong, because 4y squared, that's 16y squared. That's wrong. Square root of 16m squared is equal to 4m. That's correct, because the square root of 16 multiplied by the square root of m squared is equal to 4m. That's correct. Then this one, 3a in brackets square cubed is 27a cubed. It's not 9a cubed. That's wrong. The cube root of 8 cubed is not 8x. It's 2x. So the correct option is B. Then we move on to the next one. The next one is determine whether the product of x plus 2 brackets x plus 3 bracket is monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomial. Let's expand. X multiplied by x plus 3 plus 2 multiplied by x plus 3. When you expand, you get x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6x. So it means I'm applying this one. Oh, my rubber. Let's do have got my rubber, not my ink. I have my pen. So I'm applying that one. Then you apply this. Then this one multiply there and also multiplies there. Then these are like terms. That will give us 5x. So x squared plus 5x plus 6. That's trinomial. So the correct answer is C. Then we'll move on to the next one. Simplify the following. 1 over 2x multiplied by, in brackets, x plus 8, which means, let's look at the options, then we'll do the calculations, which means it's 1 over 2 multiplied by x plus 1 over 2 multiplied by 8. So this one will give us 1 over 2x squared for this one. Then for this one, which means 2 and 8, that gives us 4. So end up having 4x. So I've got 1 over 2x squared plus 4x. The correct option is C. Which expression is the correct answer of bracket x minus 7 squared? And then let's look at those ones. Those are options. Most of the learners gave A as the answer, which is wrong. So we have got to open 2 brackets. So x minus 7 multiplied by x minus 7. Then which means x is multiplying x minus 7. Minus 7 is multiplying x minus 7. Likewise, we distribute. So when we distribute, that gives us x squared minus 7x minus 7x plus 49. Like terms here. Then x squared minus 14x plus 49. The correct answer is B. We move on to the next one, 6 point. If x is equal to 3, determine the value of 2x squared plus 3x plus 4. So it means where there's x, we are putting 3. So let's put the 3. That's 2 multiplied by 3 squared plus 3 multiplied by 3 plus 4. So that gives us 2 multiplied by 9 plus 9 plus 4, which gives us 18 plus 9 plus 4, which is equal to 31. The correct option is D, 31. Start the expressions and identify. That's the expression. Identify all sets of like terms. So 5x squared minus 3x minus plus 7 plus 4x squared plus 8x minus 2 minus y plus 6y. So we've got 5x squared and 4x squared are like terms. Then I've got minus 3x and 8x are like terms. Then I've got 2x negative 2 and plus 7, not minus 7. And plus 7 are like terms. Then we've got negative y and 6y are like terms. Then move on to the next. Factorize the following by using difference of two squares. This was specific, using difference of two squares. So it was easy. So difference of two squares, let's write it here as difference of two squares. That's 3 squared x squared minus 8 squared. So that's a difference of two squares. Then you can have your put 3x a bracket all squared minus 8x. Then I've got now open two brackets, 3x minus 8 cross bracket 3x plus 8, and you're done. Let's move on. Question 7. Solve by inspection. X plus 3 is got 7. So you inspect, what should we add there? 4. So the correct option is x is equal to 4. Solve the following. 7p plus 2 is equal to 37. Group like terms together. Take this to the other side, it becomes negative. 7p is equal to 37 minus 2, which gives us 7p is equal to 35. Divide both sides by 7. Then we get p is equal to 5. So the correct option is A. Question 7.3. A number is increased by 8 equals 21. Which expression represents the statement? Let's see now. So we've got increased, which means if the number is x, increased by 8 plus 8, then the answer is 21. So the correct option will be B. Then we move on to which statement is correct. Let's look at those statements. A times a to the power 2 times a to the power 3 is equal to a to the power 5. That's correct because we add the exponents. A to the power 2 plus a to the power 5 is equal to a to the power 5. That's wrong. Then here we are dividing. Subtract the exponents. It's not a to the power 5. That's wrong again. So then here you multiply the exponent. Don't add. That's wrong again. So the correct option is A. Right. We'll move on to the next one. 7.5. Which value of y satisfies the equation 5y minus 7 is equal to 18. Right, let's isolate y, or make y the subject. So we take our 7 to the other side, comes plus. So 5y is equal to 18 plus 7. Then 5y is equal to 25. Divide by 5 both sides. So get y is equal to 5. So the correct option is C. Let's move on to the next one now. If x is equal to 3, given the equation y is equal to x plus 2, what is the ordered pair? So already we've got our x is 3, so we want to calculate. So where there's x, we put 3 there. So that means y is equal to 3 plus 2, so y is equal to 5. So the ordered pair is 5, 3, which is, so this is A, and this is B, and this is C, and this is D. So the correct option is C. Solve the equation. 2x multiplied by x plus 4 is equal to 0. So we've got 2x is equal to 0. So it means these two are multiplying each other and they get the answer 0, which means it's either 2x or is equal to 0 or x plus 4 is equal to 0. Then 2x divided by 2 is equal to 0, or x, this one now will be x is equal to minus 4. So now after dividing here, we get now x is equal to 0 or x is equal to minus 4. And those are your two answers. And then we move on to the right. The ages of a father and a son are represented by x plus 2x is equal to 45, where x is the son's age. Explain what does x represent in the above equation. So 2x, not x, 2x. So 2x represents the father's age. He is twice as old as the son. Then 7.82. What does the number 45 represent in the equation? So the 45 represents their combined age. So when you combine the age of the ages of this father and the son, that will give us 45. Alright, question 8, you have graphs. 8.1, a non-linear graph is usually a straight line. Straight line is a linear graph. Right, B, a horizontal line. Yes, a horizontal line can be a line graph. Then C, a curved line. Curved line cannot be, that's a non-linear graph. Then a vertical line. Vertical line, that's a linear graph. So therefore the correct option is C. So the incorrect correct option is C. A graph of temperature during the night decreases and then rises again in the morning. The coldest temperature is represented by A, minimum, B, gradient, C, maximum, D, intercept. A, the minimum. And then 8.3, a person's distance from home remains the same for 10 minutes. Which type of graph represents this? That's C, a constant graph. Was the 7 means the same, that it's constant. Then which one best represented by a discrete data? So the correct option is B, discrete data, recording the number of learners absent each day, because discrete data involves whole numbers. So measuring temperature is not whole numbers, measuring water level is not whole number, tracking speed, yes, but you might have whole numbers, but usually you can also get decimal numbers. But for the number of learners, it's a whole number. It's either if they are all present, it means absent is 0. If one is absent 2, that's called whole numbers. Whole numbers. Given the following equation, y is equal to negative 2x plus 5. What is the y-intercept of the graph? You can use the y-intercept concept where your constant is the y-intercept, so that's the y-intercept. Or you can do the calculations. So that means x will be 0 and y will be 5. So the correct option is B. Then you have determined the gradient of 5x plus y is equal to minus 7. So you write it in standard form. Y in the form y is equal to mx plus c, which is y is equal to negative 5. You take this to the other side. So that means y is equal to negative 5x minus 7. So our gradient is the coefficient of x, which is negative 5. So the correct option is B. And then we move on to the next 8.7. Draw the line graph from the given equation. Y is equal to 2x plus 3. So I'm going to use the intercept method. Y-intercept, x is equal to 0. Then y is equal to 2 times 0 plus 3. So y is equal to 3. Then x-intercept, y is equal to 0. 0 is equal to 2x plus 3. Then group like terms together. Take x to the other 3 to the other side. So it's 0 minus 3, which is minus 3 is equal to 2x. Then divide both sides by 2. Then you get your x is equal to negative 3 over 2, or negative 1,5. So you put your n on a diagram. That's your 3, and that's your negative 1,5. Negative 1,5. And then move on. Study the graph below and determine the equation in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So those are the intercepts. The x-intercept negative 3, 0. The y-intercept 0, 7. So get our gradient. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which gives us 7 minus 0 for y2 and y1. Then 0 minus 3 for x2 and x1, which gives us 7 over 3. And our c is our y-intercept, which is 7. So that means y is equal to 7 over 3x plus 7. For gradient, you can also use the change in y over change in x. So change in y, you are going down negative 7 units, then going to the right negative 3. Then you can also have now gradient, which is m is equal to negative 7 over negative 3, which is equal to 7 over 3, which gives us exactly the same thing. So that's another way of actually finding the gradient of a line. Move on to question 9. Two lines intersect at right angle. One of the angles is 90 degrees. What is the size of the other angles? So we have got our angles. If two lines intersect, they intersect like that. So this one is 90. It means all these ones are also 90 degrees. So whatever the other angles, if you look at these other angles, 3 angles, so whatever the other angle is, it will always be 90 degrees. So the correct option is B. Then if one angle on a straight line is 90 degrees, the other angle adjacent is, that's 90 degrees. The 90 degrees was already there. I'm writing something which is already there. 90 degrees. So the other angle is also 90 degrees. So it's just similar situation. So the correct option. So it's one angle on a straight line. Let me just say one angle on a straight line. So it's something like this. If one angle on a straight line is 90 degrees, so again I can put it there. The other adjacent, which is the one which is side by side. So this is adjacent or this one. So if you look at this one, it's either this one or that one. These two are all 90 degrees. So when two straight lines intersect, vertical opposite angles are always, so these are vertical opposite angles. So this one and that one, they are always equal. Or we can have this one and that one. So they are always equal. So the correct option is A. 9.3. Which statement is true? I want to rub off here because it's getting there. So which statement is true about corresponding angles? So I need to have my corresponding angles. So I can draw two lines there, and then I can mark there. This angle corresponds to that one, so they are equal. I can go, this angle corresponds to that one, so they are equal if these two lines are parallel. So this one, let me change the color. This one and that one are corresponding. This one and that one are corresponding, so they are always equal. So the correct option is D. Then move on to 9.4. 9.5. Two co-interior angles are X and X. This one is 95, not 90. 95. Find the value of X. So they will be like this. So these are co-interior angles. So that's X, and this one is 95. So it means, you know that, oh, there's something there. Let me rub off because I want to write that. So 95, X plus 95 is equal to 180. So this will be co-interior. So X is equal to 180 minus 95, which is 85. So the correct option is D. Two parallel lines cut by transverse lines. One alternate angle measures 128 degrees. The other alternate angles will be. So it means these are two parallel lines. Let's show them. The parallel lines, that's 1, 2, cut by a transverse line. So alternate this one, alternate that one. So this, oh, let me use this one because that's 128. 128 degrees, and this one is also 128 degrees. So the other alternate angles is 128 degrees. So the correct option is C. Let's move on to the next one. Determine the value of X with reason. So this is X and this is 70. So that means those two angles are X is equal to 70. That's alternate angles. AB parallel to CD. Then move on to the last one. Start the diagram below. Showing intersecting line segments. Calculate the size of K. Give a reason for your answer. So that means these are vertically opposite angles. So it means if they're vertically opposite angle, 2K minus 13 degrees is equal to K plus 67. So take like terms on to one side. So that means the vertical opposite angles, then 2K minus K is equal to 67 plus 13. 2K minus K, that's K, which is equal to, then you add the other side, you get 8. So that was the last one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.